Hello, welcome to my spoiler-free review of Captain America Civil War. I'm a bit under the weather, that's why I think I sound a little bit funny, and I may just break out in a coughing fit, so please bear with me. But I'm really excited to bring you this spoiler-free review of the movie. And it's this movie I've been waiting it for a long time. I think everyone has ever since it was announced. And I left there a little bit of a mixed feeling because my expectations were so high that some of the scenes didn't kind of meet my expectations. And that's what happens when the hype of it all increases the expectation, and it's just difficult to fulfill. But let's look at what the good points of the movie has, and I'll start with Spider-Man. I think everyone left the theater feeling really good about Spider-Man, looking forward to the Spider-Man standalone movie next year, and the way that Spider-Man was introduced, the way Peter Parker was introduced, I think Marvel really knows how to do Spider-Man, and it definitely helps this version of Spider-Man by having his first action sequences with the rest of the Avengers. So that's why I think the standalone movie next year is everyone is ready for it. I think everyone just can't wait to see it because it was done so well in this one, as well as Ant-Man. Ant-Man and Spider-Man together bring their own brands of humor to the Avengers, which was not present in Phase 1 or Phase 2. So their participation in this movie really elevated a lot of the humor when it comes to just the back and forth action sequences, and they throwing out one-liners and all that. And one of my favorite lines came from Ant-Man, and the way that he looks up to Captain America so much, and it's just hilarious to see. Um, the action sequences in this, I don't know if I'll say it's a step up from Winter Soldier, directed also by the Russo brothers, but there were a lot more superheroes fighting in this one, so it's quite different. In Winter Soldier, you only have Captain America and Winter Soldier fighting most of the time, hand to hand combat, and those look spectacular. So this one, it had a lot more enhancements because the superheroes are enhanced a lot more, like there's Scarlet Witch, there's Vision, um, so it's kind of different. It's a lot more, but definitely the intricacies of the sequences were there. The superpowers of each superhero were fully utilized, and it's just, as a fanboy, as a comic book fan, from when I was a kid until now, I think the action sequences is just something that you see from the pages of the comic book brought to life. So well done on these sequences from the Russo brothers for uh, bringing the dream of seeing all these on the big screen, and doing it so well. And yeah, I just want to thank the Russo brothers. What else? Oh, the motivation behind Captain America, behind Iron Man, why they are fighting each other. It's done so well because there are so many layers in the storyline, and not just them. We also get to see every individual having their own compelling reasons to choose a side. So um, when you see them fight, you feel for them, and I think the biggest credit I can give to the movie was that I started off with Team Cap. And by the middle of the movie, I'm like, oh my god, Iron Man has a point. And looking at what has happened, I can't help but to kind of verge on the side of Team Iron Man, and want Captain America to look at Iron Man's point of view. So I was switching from back and forth from the middle to the end, and it's just such a great experience. You want to see two superheroes go at it. This is the movie. This has been done so well in the story. Uh, it's inevitable to compare this to Batman v Superman. Everyone's gonna compare it. Um, I would say the beginning of the third act, I can speak properly now, has some one similarity to Batman v Superman, but this one was done in a way that it felt more believable. It felt more satisfying, and yeah, I have no complaints about how they are against each other, and the way that the Russo brothers directed this is just brilliant. Now, on to the negative. I have a few. Beginning of the movie, especially in the first act, it was a little slow. They were setting up a lot of things, and understandably and undoubtedly so, without that setup, you don't get to see, or you don't get to feel why the other superheroes were, which side they were going to choose, or why their reasons for choosing that side. So that necessary, but I'm thinking, is there a better way, a quicker way, faster pacing to tell that story? The second one would be the romance. Okay, the romance did not need to happen. It felt a little awkward when it happened. I could have done without it. It would still make a great movie. And I don't want to give spoilers, but let's stop here. I'm gonna throw in another negative before I go to the final one. Is the villain. The villain of Marvel has a problem with their villains, and this one as well was not. It's not a great villain. And everything happened so coincidentally, right? That was done so quickly and so lazy in a way, too convenient, right? Too convenient. So, and the final negative I have is there are so many characters in this movie. There are so many of them fighting at the same time, and understandably, a couple of them do not have enough screen time, and that left me wondering, like, where is this character at this point in time? Where is that character, and why don't they show up here? They could have done this here. They could have done that there, and yeah. So that's why I felt that on the Russo brothers' part, that was not satisfying enough. That wasn't like what the comic book could have done. The comic book would have had all the characters in the panels. They would be able to weave in and out from each scene, and that was a little bit disappointing. And that's why I'm feeling like it could have been so much more in this movie. Yeah, that's the negative. Other than that, I do enjoy the movie. I really do. Even though I can't show you how happy I am. My throat is just dying here. But my final score, after watching it for the first time, I'm gonna watch it a few more times at least. But the score for now, I'm gonna give it 8.5 out of 10 because of all the negatives that I've mentioned. And it's unfortunate. I really wanted this to be a 10 out of 10, but I can't give it that. And it pains me to not being able to do so. But as a movie, and if you take away the fanboyism of it all, as a movie, as an entertainment piece, it could be a 9, it could be a 9.5. It is that good a movie. But as a fanboy myself, I can't give it a 9.5. So that's my review. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you for clicking, and let me know if you agree or disagree with me. Until then, see you next time.